Bend Aquarium is maturing slowly, but it's looking like it's working its way out of the ugly phase. All right, let's check on the floating plants in the Discus Aquarium. I see lots of new roots everywhere. They're getting huge. And lots of new leaves. That's good signs. But today, it's time to rehome some plants from the 3,000 gallon to the Asian Jungle Aquarium. All right, as you saw from the intro, the Riverbend Aquarium is coming out of the ugly stage, and the Discus Aquarium, the floating plants are really kicking in, and we know we have the big rescape of Predator Bay over there, which is gonna totally change up the 265 in wall behind me. But what I may not have mentioned is that the 3,000 gallon has a bunch of plants that need to get moved out because the 3,000 gallon mega rescape mega project it's ongoing, it's right now, and those plants need a new home. And then I was thinking, I have a 600 gallon Asian Jungle Aquarium that's not really a jungle. Plants need a new home. Tank called jungle, but not really a jungle. Even I figured that one out, and I'm gonna put those plants in the 600 gallon today in this video. So we are gonna have a, well, I don't even know how to describe it. It's gonna be awesome. You know what? Why bother describing it? Let me just show you what we're doing. Let's get right to it. Okay, so as you know, the 3,000 gallon is getting a complete rescape and redo. So part of the prerequisites before I start the massive rescape is to find a new home for some of my plants that are currently in here. And the ones I'm looking at today are these nice big Anubias plants. So these guys need a new home, and I think the perfect home for them is the 600 gallon Asian Jungle Aquarium. I got some harvesting to do, and then we're gonna go over to the 600 gallon, and we're gonna create a jungle wall. It's gonna be interesting. Okay, I know you're thinking, what is a plant wall? Well, let's see. So if you look in the back there of the 600 gallon, there is a big wall of wood, root back there. Basically, this sort of thing down here. Well, it's gonna be a plant wall. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drain this water way down. I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna restructure it, make it look nice. That's kind of just sat in there. I'm gonna get it filled all the way up, and I think slope it a little bit too, a little more natural looking. And then I'm gonna clean up all these plants from the 3,000 gallon, and I'm gonna tie them on to the wood root. So we should end up with just a whole back area of plants, you know, like a true jungle. This is a 4-foot deep tank, so we got plenty of room for that, plenty of room in front for all the fish. And again, when I slope out the wood a little bit, it's going to be hollow behind it, so I expect the fish to be going in and out of this jungle wall. So it should be lots of big open spaces, lots of plants everywhere, and lots of fish going in and out. So let me go ahead and drain this down and get everything ready, get these plants, get these guys cleaned off, get the wood washed off, and then I need to jump in here and start doing some planting. Okay, before I jump inside, I figure I'd take another shot with the water down, because I don't know if you're like me, it was kind of a little bit hard to see all the way back to see what I was talking about with that big wood wall back there, but I think you can definitely see it now. And if we, let's come up top here. You can see how, well, that sort of fell in when the water went down, but it was sort of straight up. So we want to make it, we're going to have it start more out here further and then go slope back up, and then of course get that thing fully planted. So I think you can tell it's gonna be pretty crazy. All those big plants from the 3,000 gallon, all tied onto that wood, all sloped up. It's gonna be quite the living backdrop for the 600 gallon. And man, it's gonna be something. This is one of those times I am very curious to see how this is gonna turn out. I mean, I have high hopes and everything, but I'm not sure. It's a little bit crazy, but it's time for me to jump inside the aquarium and get to work. Oh man, the big tanks, they are fun to look at. Most of the time, they're fun to manage because they make life easy, but escaping them is a chore. I got a good workout climbing in there, but I'll tell you what, man, without the water being filled up or anything, I'm really liking this. I'm liking this a lot. I think the 600 Asian Jungle might finally be a jungle. And you can you guess where I was standing? Hopefully I didn't do too much damage. I can see all the footprints in the substrate. yeah, it's tough when you have a fully planted tank and you have bazillions of little fish that have no fear of you whatsoever. It is not easy to work in there. It's like, it is a chore. And I can tell you one thing, the rainbow sharks. Rainbow sharks are like those fish that like to eat the dead skin off you. These guys just mauled me the entire time. I guess I got a fresh coat of skin on my legs and feet now because they cleaned me off. There's no dead skin left. So I guess that's a side benefit of having a big tank and having to climb inside to Aquascape is you get whatever they call that fish stuff where they eat the dead skin. All right, but two things, I didn't take all the plants out of the 3,000 gallon. You forget the scale. The 3,000 gallons is so much bigger than everything else, you know, because this is plenty. This is definitely plenty for this. Whew. All right, let's get the water in here. I want to see what this sucker is going to look like because so far so good. And a quick update on the war against the cichlids with the Amazon swords. So far so good on the left side. Still there on the right side, munching the leaves a little bit, but we have new leaves. The battle rages. Definitely, no one's won yet. Oh man, sometimes I don't know if it's being good or getting lucky or what, but sometimes things work out, and oh my gosh, this looks cool. The water's not totally clear yet, but I want to show you guys what I see, all the stages. So just completed the plant wall, or you know, the back part of the jungle aquarium, and I feel confident in calling it the jungle aquarium now because oh, it is sweet. We're gonna follow up later on in this video, and I'll show you what it looks like if the water's all clear. But here's what it looks like pretty much right afterwards. All right, here we go. The 600 gallon Asian Jungle Aquarium. True jungle aquarium. Like I said, water's still murky. You know, for me to escape this, I got to get inside there, and and you know, it's an ordeal. But when it's done, oh man, this is looking sweet. This is, I can tell, like when the water's clear and you can see the depth. I don't think the camera will do it justice. I know I can see a rainbow shark right there, and you can barely see him. But there is a good 4 to 6 inches behind the wood and plants back there, and it's all, there's tons of spaces for them to go through. It's not a solid wall at all. It is just a giant planted, I don't know what you call it. You know, you'll see when the water clears up, you'll see. But like I said, I just wanted to give you the right after it was done effect, you know. And I mean, for me, it's night and day. It's showing me the height, the depth of this tank. The fish are going all through it. I mean, it's easier to see, I think, on person than a camera. It's gonna be crazy, and it truly is becoming a jungle aquarium. So, oh, this is nuts. I love it. I love it. All right, so let's get the water clear so you guys can appreciate better what I'm seeing here. All right, we'll be back soon. All right, the filter's had a chance to work its magic and clear up the water, and oh my gosh, I knew I was gonna love it when I first saw it, even when it was cloudy. But I am digging this. Pulling out the wood a little bit, creating all those areas behind there. Oh, it's really paid off. You got little fish swimming in and out of there all the time, basically disappearing back into there. So even though the light is right over it, you get those dark areas in the back there where fish are coming and going out of there. It is super cool. I'm definitely very, very stoked for this change. This is, it's one of those rare times that what I was hoping for and what I ended up with they're like exactly the same. A lot of times, you know, it's good, I like it, but I sort of, in my mind, it could have been even better. But this is exactly what I was looking for. Now right now, all the fish, they've come to the front of the tank because they think I'm going to feed them, which I am going to give them a special feeding. But when that's not the case, at any given time, a third of these fish you see right now will be kind of disappear. They're just back in that whole wood plant wall back there, you know, and it's just super cool. So you got fish coming and going out of sight. Every once in a while you'll get a fish come out of one of the caves, you know. It's very, very cool. When I sit here and look at this tank and enjoy it, I just love, you know, you're looking at the tank for a while and all of a sudden a fish comes out that you haven't seen even though you've been looking at the tank for like the last 5 minutes, you know. Very, very cool. But yeah, you can see that it's just, I don't even know who to focus on, but you've got so many fish going in and out back there. It is definitely very cool. I'll tell you what though, let's give these guys a special feeding. We're gonna give them some frozen food tonight rather than their normal granules and flakes. We're gonna give them some bloodworms and some brine shrimp. So let's put the food in. All right, there we go. Brine shrimp and bloodworms. Change of pace for these guys. Fortunately, they are not picky eaters, and they are more than happy than to try new foods. Definitely, with this tank, I guess sort of the mantra is that they're just activity, and these fish, they're all just they're not worried about anything. They'll just, whatever you put in there, they're just gonna eat it. If you put your hands in there, even if I climb in there myself to re-aquascape it, they're not afraid of me. They're swimming all over the place. They're all around you, very curious as to what's going on. Just a very fun tank. A tank that, I don't know if I have a tank in my entire fish basement that the fish are not as comfortable as these guys here. I mean, I think this is truly a marriage between the fish and the environment, where I think they are thoroughly happy here. At least the way they act, all the indicators they give me are that they are extremely happy with their environment. And also too, you got a nice mix of fish. You got some seriously boisterous, fast swimmers. You have them with more sensitive guys, more, smaller groups of fish up there, of schoolers, and there's room for everybody here. I mean, what's not to like about a school of Siamese algae eaters schooling together, cleaning up the plants, overweight pandagoras cleaning up. We all know that there's all kinds of rainbow sharks in here. We got the silver ghost rainbow sharks, the red rainbows, we got the albino rainbows, all living together. All kinds of groups of fish. We have the topwater fish now starting to come together with some of the rainbows. Are getting larger. It's kind of crazy to think that there's probably 30 rainbow fish in here, but you wouldn't really know it yet because they haven't reached that size, and there's just so many, reached the large enough size that they stand out a lot, I guess, against all this activity and all the locations where these fish can go. Not to mention, we have, I think my favorite, everyone's favorite, the clown loaches. So they're down here cleaning up all those bloodworms and brine shrimp. And I love that too. Just within a foot of the front of the aquarium, they can just disappear into so many crevices. You got guys, fish swimming in and out of everywhere. I just love that. All kinds of activity. But yeah, this is the tank that when you're sitting in front of this tank, you do not get bored. There's something going on everywhere, and there's fish coming and going from areas that you can't see constantly. So it is super fun. It is also really nice to be able to first of all, to be able to get this look without having to go buy anything, just repurposing plants that grew up in the 3,000 gallon. These all started as tiny little plants, and as you can see now, they're massive, and they have massive root systems. And I really can't wait for the root systems to settle down. They were uprooted and pulled out, but they're going to settle down, and they're going to grow and attach to all that wood and rock over there. You're going to see that everywhere down in the middle. All those exposed roots are going to attach to all that wood. Same with over there. And that is definitely going to give it even more of a jungle look than it already has. When I pulled these out of the 3,000 gallon, they were super established. Those roots gripped onto the wood and the rock, and it really had an awesome look, but definitely not appreciated in the 3,000 gallon, partly because of the size and not the fact that they were kind of off to the sides and in the back, so you really couldn't see it. But here in the 600 gallon, you're really going to be able to appreciate that look of the mature roots growing all over and hanging off, creating that sort of canopy effect of plant matter integrated with all the wood. And it's amazing, I know I said it before, but those dark caves back there where you can see the fish all the way in the back, there's lots of big open spots where there's lights right above it, serious amount of light right above that, and he still doesn't penetrate into those dark caves back there. And the fish love that, and it looks awesome seeing them coming and going through back there. But another thing I almost forgot is it's changed the flow. Previously, before the island in the middle here was really built up like that, it was sort of a side-to-side thing, fish just going side to side. Now we've got more of a circular thing. They're going into the back, they're going behind the island, they're going back in over there, they're going in over here, and then traversing the back and coming out over here. And again, also like the same situation with the cave. So you've got a lot of spots where the fish can go in and come out somewhere else, and that is just awesome in my book. I love that sort of thing. I'm not a fan of a tank where you just look at it, you can see everything at once. I like where you have to actually spend some time and look at the aquarium to see everything that's going on, and to be able to see fish that you didn't see. You know, hey, I've been looking at this tank for 15 minutes and here's a new fish I didn't even know was in there. That's my style of aquarium, and the 600-gallon Asian Jungle truly is a jungle now. This is awesome. Sorry, I'm going on. I'm loving the tank. I'm very happy with this change. There's a lot of work to get in there and tie off all those plants, but it's paid off. So, can't wait for this tank to mature even more. But as far as it sits right now, I can live with this. I like this a lot. All right, well, my apologies for geeking out there a little bit at the end of the video. Okay, well, geeking out a lot there at the end of the video, but I'm just so pleased to actually see the 600 Asian Jungle finally, in reality, match the vision in my head. It's finally there. I love it how it sits right now, and it's only gonna get better. So I'm super stoked for this tank moving on. It's always a pain to have to be patient when you set up a new aquarium, but hey, it's worth it in the end, right? And I think the proof's in the pudding behind me, the picture behind me. It looks awesome, at least in my humble opinion. Okay, I appreciate you watching the video, and stay tuned because the step-by-step DIY aquarium build series is coming up next. Episode 1, I'm going to walk you through building a 315-gallon aquarium from scratch, from DIY, completely custom. I'm going to show you how to do everything. This is the series where if you want to build one of these tanks, you watch this series and it'll show you exactly how to do it, or at least how I do it. And it's going to have a 90-gallon sump, so 405 gallons, complete system. That's a lot of flexibility for stocking. I have some very good ideas for fish going in it, and it's going to be a little more and it's going to be a little less strict than most of my aquariums, where it's not going to be purely Amazon or purely Asian. It's going to be New World. So that allows me to do South American and Central American. So and I have an idea for an aquascape in there that I think is going to be really neat. So yeah, something to look forward to after the build is created. We get to do a nice aquarium debut. So I'm looking forward to it, and stay tuned for that video because it's coming out next. Thanks for watching.